Hello, everybody, and thank you all so much for joining us today. My name is Jonah, and I am from Spotlight. Super excited for this event. We got a lot to cover today. And before we get started, I just want to make sure everyone's here, that you can see and hear me all right. So hop in the comments, let me know that you're here. Let me know how you heard about Spotlight, maybe where you're tuning in from, something you're excited to learn today. Love hearing all of that. And if you have any questions, please pop them in the comments at any time. I will be trying to answer questions as they come up, but we have also set aside some time at the end for a proper Q&A. I know there's probably going to be a lot of questions because we're covering a lot today. Just want to call out a few people. Harin, thanks for joining us. Sarah Dawn, always love having you two here. Some other folks tuning in. Everyone, this is awesome. Leah from Louisiana. This is so great. So, if you're here today, you're likely an aspiring creator or you're already a creator and you're looking to utilize the Teachable platform better to serve you. I want to call out quick, please check out our last event we did a week ago. In that event, we covered how to use Teachable to build your kind of internet home base so you can actually build a website with Teachable, a full website if you want to, but if nothing else, you can have a homepage that highlights who you are, what your business is, the problems you're trying to solve, and allows you to start capturing leads. Last week, we talked all about why email marketing and collecting leads is so important for your business and ultimately the core of marketing. Courses, coaching, digital products, so many things all lead back to email. But today, we are going to be talking about building a free course or a free mini course as a lead magnet. Now, it seems like everyone's here. You all can see and hear me all right. So let's just start diving in. First, I just want to do a little review in case there's anyone here who wasn't here last week. Want to talk about lead magnets, what they are briefly, and why we're here today. So, a lead magnet. What is a lead magnet? Basically, once you have your internet home base set up, so you have a website, you have your domain, you have some pictures, bios, stuff like that, you're going to need a way to capture emails. Once you have that, you're going to need a reason for people to give you their email. And you might be wondering, why would someone give me their email? Last week, we talked all about the value for value mindset. So, starting to put your head in a space where you are offering free value to your customers, you're trying to solve a problem of theirs in exchange for an email. On the left here, you could see a couple of forms of lead magnets. It can be as simple as a PDF. So, just a quick way to solve someone's problem. In order to download the PDF, they have to give you their email. You can do a newsletter. So, telling people if you sign up for my email list, you're going to get regular updates about my industry. You're going to get tips and tricks that can help you solve blank problem. You can do live events like this one we're doing right now and gate them with an email. So, say to your audience, hey, on this date and time on this platform, I'm going to be talking all about blah. I'll be answering questions. I'll be solving solutions or solving problems for you. And to attend the live event, all I need is your email here. That gets people into your email list and starting to engage with them. You can also do coaching. So, similar to live events, you can do this in person or in the modern COVID digital age. Zoom is a wonderful platform to do this. Similar as a live event, you're saying at this date and time, I'm going to be available. Coaching is a little more personal. So you might put a cap on how many people can attend. And you say, give me your email, attend at this time, and you'll actually be there with the people. So everyone's in a Zoom and you're helping them solve those problems actively there. That is a great option to go with if you're not quite sure what you want to do yet or what problem you're trying to solve. We talked last week about how coaching and live events work really well for social listening. You can ask your audience what they want to learn. learn from them, and then create that material for them. And last but not least, what we're talking about today is a mini course or a free course. This is by far our favorite here at Spotlight and also at Teachable. And for myself as a creator as well, I am building mini courses. And let's talk about a couple of the reasons why I think mini courses are so valuable. First off, they lead to high value leads. So, someone who downloads a PDF or joins your newsletter, they might be interested in one aspect of your business, but it's very little time commitment for them. Coaching and live events, it's a little more, but if someone's committing to doing a whole course that you've created, and it doesn't have to be a long course, we'll get into that in a second. But if someone's committing to joining a whole course, and they get through the whole thing, you know that their time is invested. They're interested in you, they're interested in the problems you're solving, they like your brand, and they're putting in their time. They're making that investment, which means down the line, that's a high value lead. That's someone that you already know is going to be interested in other products, in your business. They're supporting you, they like what you're doing and who you are. A mini course also helps you establish authority among your industry. You can do this in many ways and with other lead magnets, but a course really positions you as an expert and an educator between the Teachable platform and constructing and developing a good course. By the time a customer gets through your course, they trust you as an authority within your industry and on the topic and the problems you're trying to solve. Another thing I love about courses, and this is probably my favorite part, is the ability to repeat content, both for the course and away from the course. So we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but when you're thinking about constructing a mini course, you don't have to start from zero. You can say, oh, if I've done some live events or if I've done some coaching that's already in this vein, is there any recordings of that that I can cut up and make a lesson in my mini course? Maybe you did a hour-long live event and all you need to do is cut it up and supplement it with a couple other things, and boom, you have your free mini course. Don't be afraid to repeat content. This is a huge thing we see with beginning creators when it comes to social media posting or any aspect of their business. They're afraid that, oh, if I did this once, I don't want to spam people or reuse it. Is it dishonest to have people see a YouTube video now in a course? All the creators we've seen at Spotlight that are really successful have no fear of repeating content, using it in different formats and testing it in different places to see how their audience engages with it. So, equally so, where you can take content you've already created and turn it into a mini course. If you're creating content just for your mini course, you should be thinking of that content as repeatable outside of the course. So maybe one of the lessons in your mini course turns into a YouTube video. You can take little clips from it and turn it into posts for social media. If you're not doing video, which we'll discuss your ability to do video or other mediums in a minute, but if you're not doing video, you can also take snippets from your PDFs and turn them into posts. I just want you to start getting into this mindset that every time you create something, it should serve multiple purposes. We've worked with hundreds of creators at Spotlight. And like I've said, the ones who are really out there growing a successful online coaching business, course business, or selling digital products, they are thinking of every piece of content that they generate as having the ability to be in multiple places. I can't stress this enough. We'll come back to it in probably many, many events, but this is how you get over a lot of that creator fatigue. We'll come back to that. The last thing I love about mini courses is the cross product promotion. A course is a fantastic format to offer upsells and just in general promote your other products. You can do that at the end of your course, of course. So, say you solved a small problem for your customers. You can then say, well, if you really want the hand holding, here's my full course. But You can also do this in each lecture, in each section of the course. You could be constantly promoting other products or other things you do within a mini course. So, a mini course is not only a great way to do these first three things, collect high value leads, establish authority, and create repeatable content, but it allows you an integrated platform to point to all your other products. And there's very few places you can do that as well as a mini course. Yes, you can do that on YouTube and social media, but within a mini course, again, the person is on your platform, they're involved in the platform, and they're ready to eat up what you got to give to them. So, I want to call out just a couple other things that make a mini course really valuable. First off, it builds a really strong loyalty with your audience. Like we said, this kind of leads, it's similar to the high value leads, but thinking from the customer's perspective, you're really offering a lot of value there. So when someone realizes that you're giving all of this to them for free and you've helped them solve a problem, they're going to be loyal to you. They care about you. That's that value to value mindset. And last but not least, it allows for strong analytics. On the Teachable platform, you're able to track your users' journey through your course. You're able to see where they go into every aspect of your course, how they're consuming it. And you can also put in their comments section so people can engage with them. You can learn from them. And the course is a changing format. So you can always update your course. So you can say, hey, I heard that everybody thought I didn't explain this well enough. Well, now that you've already taken the course, go check it out again. I've updated it. And in a lot of industries, things are changing so fast too. The ability to update a course and continue to keep it relevant within your industry, especially if you're in the tech industries or anything like that, is absolutely crucial to maintaining your email list, keeping people engaged, delighted, and excited. So I know that's a lot right off the bat, but I wanted to make sure we're all on the same page for why we're creating a mini course, the value it has. Hop in the comments. Let me know if you're still with me, if this is making sense. Also, let me know if you already have a free mini course or if you've played around with these kind of things. I love hearing where you're at. So, also let me know if you're just starting out, if this is new information. Happy to have you all here, and we're going to try and cover everything. Now, I want to give you, before we dive in, building a free course is easy with Teachable. We're going to dive in a second, but I want to give you first just a couple tips when it comes to curriculum. We're going to have events solely focused on this because building curriculum is one of the most important aspects of having a successful online course, whether it's free or paid. And it can be really tricky right off the bat to launch in and say, what do I teach? How do I teach it? What makes the most sense? First, I want to just address the imposter syndrome. It's really easy if you don't have a degree or you haven't built a course yet, or you're just starting out to feel like, why would anyone want to learn this from me? The truth is, you are an expert. And even if you're not the one who knows the most about something in your industry, you know more than other people. And even if it just comes down to the way that you teach something or who you are relates to your audience in a different way, that's valuable, especially as the internet continues to expand and more people get online. People are looking for like minded, like experienced people to learn from because information means a lot more coming from someone you can relate to. So, I know it can be difficult and it'll pop up again and again, that imposter syndrome, but try and check it at the door, kick it out of the house, say, I'm an expert. I know things. Let's focus on what we're teaching. Another tip I have is focus on solving a problem, especially when we're talking about what we are today, which is a free course or a free mini course. You don't want to tackle something too big, and you really want to focus in on who you're trying to help. There's quite a few creators that have said things in this vein, but if you're trying to serve everyone, you're likely going to serve nobody. So hone in on a very specific problem someone may have. In some cases, that may be keeping the house clean, or simply how to make a macrame coaster. Or in my case, for my own platform, I work with audio production, and I'm building a free mini course on an introduction to Logic Pro. There's a lot of things I've learned about that software that isn't out there and isn't in a lot of the YouTube videos I've seen. So, trying to solve a problem. The course we're going to look at today is actually a course that us at Spotlight are building. That's how to build your internet home base online. And we're trying to solve the problem of people not having a singular place where they can build a website, collect leads, and start growing their audience so they can sell their products. The other thing that tags on to the solving a problem is make real promises. So if you're saying that you can solve someone's problem and that problem is too big, so big that you can't deliver it, or you're looking 6 months to a year down the line to build that curriculum, you're looking too broad. Focus in even smaller. So, just as an example, if I was doing a course on how to repair your car, that's not a promise I can offer. I can't promise someone that I can teach them how to be a mechanic in a small mini course. But if I can focus down just granular and get smaller and say how to change a tire at home, that's something I can confidently do that in a hour, in 30 minutes. I'm confident that by the end of the course, they'll be able to do what I promised them. It's really important to focus on making real promises because transformation is the key to maintaining customers, to building an audience, to having loyalty within your customer base. And in that same vein, when you're writing copy for your course, so if you're not familiar with that term, when you're starting to market the course or on your homepage, all these places, which I'll show you where you can promote your mini course. And this goes for free courses, courses all around, coaching products, everything. Copy that promises a transformation sells. I don't want to get too much into the selling mindset, but whatever you feel about selling, if it feels icky or gross, or you're just trying to wrap your head around how to do that, let's come back to the dictionary definition of selling, which is the exchange of money for a product or solution. In our case, the exchange of email, but value for value. And when you write your copy, you want to promise someone that when you start your transformation, this is who you are. And by the end of it, once you've consumed my products, once you've gone through my course, this is who you are. That's the kind of copy that's going to sell. And it also ties into everything we've said about solving problems and promising transformation, making real promises, solving problems, and having the copy mimic that. Last thing I want to say in that vein is just don't be afraid to sell yourself. Like I just said, selling is simply exchanging value for other value. And you're an expert in your field. You can do this. Let's dive in. I want to show you now how you can build a course on Teachable where you can start collecting leads. So, real quick, just checking in. We got a few people. Some people have a mini course, but not sure how to market it. That's great. I'll have some resources for you at the end, and also make sure to hop in the Q&A if you have specific questions for that. Can definitely address those. And currently creating a mini guide that will feed into a more detailed course. Tiffany, that's fantastic. That's exactly the kind of value we're talking about. It should all link together and make sense within your brand. Okay, but let's dive in to the Teachable platform and start showing you how to actually build a course. So, first off, if you don't have a Teachable account yet, don't go do it right now because I want you to be here and present. But we have a link in the comments pinned at the top and in the bottom. You can start a Teachable account for free, and you can do just about anything we're going to talk about today for free. Start getting the wheels rolling and building your free mini course. Once you create your account, one of the first things you're going to encounter is it's going to ask you to create a school. Don't be afraid of that. You can always change the name of the school later. You can always alter any of those aspects later. So just name it whatever you want, and then you'll reach a little questionnaire. You can skip that by just clicking next, or we use that questionnaire to learn a little more about you. So if you don't mind filling it out, it helps us further serve you in the future. But once you're done, your Teachable account is going to look like this, and you'll have your overall Teachable account and then your schools within it. So I'm going to click on our school here. And like I said, we're going to be looking at the Spotlight School, where we are diving into building a mini course for you as well. I just want to check in really quick. Yes, Tiffany, you're being brave. Love it. Yeah, and okay, so it seems like a lot of people here have a mini course or have played around with it, but are having trouble getting it to people. We're going to specifically address marketing your courses and how to get it out there in future events. But once again, hang out till the end. I have some additional resources for you that help you with just that. So when you first go into your school, you're going to see this page. What Teachable is doing here is basically walking you through the process of launching your school. You can see we already did these steps. This pertains to, like I said, the last event. We went and built a home page. We added a lead capture to it, and we created a home base that at least talks a little bit about who we are, what people can expect, and gives a place for them to give us their email. But what we want to do today is build a course. In Teachable language, a course or a coaching product, they're referred to as products. So first thing we can do is create a product and choose a course. We want to give our course a title. So for this one, I'm going to call it Creating Your Internet Home Base. And for an author, I'm going to choose myself. I'm going to talk a little bit later about the difference between authors and bios, how you set those things up. But trust me, you're just going to select yourself as the author. You can always change any of this later. And real quick, just want to answer Jared's question. Yes, this recording will be available later. There will be a replay on YouTube. It'll also be on the Spotlight event page and emailed to you. So don't fret. All of this is available later, and we'll have plenty more resources and events coming up in the future. Back to our course, we're going to say continue, and it's that easy to create a course. Now, once you've created a course, you're going to be given this page. Let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing here. This is our place to build our curriculum. And there's two main functions here. You have sections, so you can think of those as overall categories. And then you have lectures. Those can be individual topics within those categories. So for this first section, I just want to call it the intro. And that's just going to be a label so that when the student sees the section, they're aware, okay, this is the introduction, and then there's lectures inside of it. For my first lecture, I'm going to say, welcome. And boom, it's that easy just to name your lectures. Let's get into how you actually edit a lecture. All you have to do is click on the lecture, and you'll be presented with this page. This can be a little confusing at first because there's a lot of options, and it depends mainly on how you're presenting your course. If you're using video media, if you're using PDFs, or you can even just build a course within Teachable with the text and quiz functions. But I actually have a little video available as an intro for this course. So I can just click my device and upload it from my desktop. This video's going to take a second to upload, but then we will be able to see this in the lecture, and we'll be able to experience what it's like both for the students and in the back end. Now, I want to, while this is uploading, I want to take a sec, address if there's any questions here. So pop them in the chat. Always happy to answer. Having created, so Peter is saying, having created a first section, I tend to call it the admin stuff. Can I copy that whole section to another course? Peter, that's a great question. When it comes to migrating sections across courses, there are some ways to do that. We're going to get into that with some future events because that comes into a little more of your back end management, but you can do that. Also, feel free to reach out to support@teachable.com at any point. They're very active there and always trying to help you get the most out of the platform. But yes, you can repeat sections. And if nothing else, if you stay organized in building your course, which I highly recommend, having folders for each section of a course, you can dive in and just re-upload those whole sections in there. I have a few so this is a great moment to talk briefly about if you've already built a mini course, but you're trying to get customers there. That is a common problem, and it comes down to traffic. You need to find more ways to get people to your course. This is where other lead magnets can come in. You can use PDFs as lead. If you have PDF lead magnets out there, at the bottom of it, they should be promoting the course. If you do live web events, you should be promoting those things. Again, don't be afraid to sell. You want to be selling even your free products. You don't have to consider it selling because you're not saying, give me money, but it's a wonderful opportunity to say, hey, if you enjoyed this, please come check out some of the other things I've done. Maybe you'll get more value out of this. So really cross marketing all of your products and thinking about it as a web and mapping out the customer's experience as they go from each product is a really valuable thing. So that can be as it may sound a little silly, but that can be as simple as just sitting down with a piece of paper and mapping out, okay, if a customer downloads my PDF, and there's a link at the bottom for the mini course. What's the path? Okay, they come from my website, they download the PDF. At the bottom, there's a link for the course. Click the link for the course, go over to the course. What happens when they're done with the course? Maybe each section offers a little bit of different value there. It's so valuable to understand how you're asking a customer to flow through your products, and also, it's really important to have that intention of how they'll flow through that product so that when they actually go and consume your materials, you can track if that flow is working. Or maybe you find out that customers go a different route. One other thing I can say is, especially if you're just starting out, it's super valuable to collaborate with other people in your space. Don't be afraid. Don't think of them as competitors. Reach out to them, see if maybe, if they have a podcast, can you come on their podcast and promote your event? If they're in the similar space, maybe you can build a mini course together. Or if they already have like a complementing course, so say someone has a course on how to repair your alternator. I'm sticking with this car mechanic thing. If someone has a course on how to repair their alternator, maybe you as a collaborator can offer a course on how to do the tires, right? Work with other people within your industry. That's going to help both of you grow your audience. And don't be afraid to reach out. Even if you don't have a huge audience, people love talking about themselves. They love sharing on different platforms. Don't underestimate their desire to share. So let's hop back in. The video has been uploaded and it is optimizing for playback. So super easy. If I ever want to preview what a section or a lecture looks like, Up at the top, I can simply click preview. It's going to take me to a page where I can actually witness what a student would witness. As you can see, the video is still encoding, but it's going to be in this kind of format. We'll go back to previewing once we've done a little more. So I want to go back and create a different style of lecture. I want to, for this one, just do a PDF. So again, you don't have to do video. Yes, video is a valuable and growing source. People interact with it, probably the best online. But if you're intimidated by video or anything like that, that doesn't mean you can't get started. You can also just develop something with PDFs or the like. So I'm actually going to create a new section here because this is going to be a further resources section. So I can simply create a new section, say further resources, and save it. And it'll pop up right here. Just like before, I can create a new lecture, label it here. I'm going to say how to sell an online course, which is a PDF that we offer. The link is in the bio. We'll talk about that a little later. And it's as easy as clicking on it. Once again, I want to add a file. So I can just navigate to that file on my device, upload it, and it'll be there shortly. So just checking in quick. Is everyone still with me? How are we doing? For some of you who have already built mini courses, this might be familiar to you, but I really want to make sure that we all understand the basic aspects. And Peter, awesome. Thanks for reaching out to Teachable. I'm sure they'll be able to help you there. And Shirley, yes, there will be a replay available. We will be doing more step-by-step aspects for this. I also want to take a second to call out, we do have, Teachable has a full webinar that walks much more into depth. It's a 40-minute webinar that walks into depth of all of these aspects. That is also linked in the description below. So if you need a little more help there, we'll have future videos expanding on that. And there is that 40-minute webinar that really dives into depth on every aspect. So now we have our PDF uploaded. Again, if I want to preview what that looks like for a student, I can take a peek. And boom, they have that PDF available. And they can download it for later use if they want it. Back to our lecture editor, I want to highlight some of the other features we have available. So say you don't have video, you don't have PDFs, but you have the text, you know what you want to offer, and you want to build just a basic experience. You can always just use the Teachable's text editor. So in here, you just hit add text. I could say, hey, super excited to teach you more about building a course. Click add text, and that text will be viewable for the student just like that. Now, along with quizzes, this is a viable way to build a course. Let's look at that quiz function real quick. To add a quiz, you just click add quiz. You can choose to have your quiz graded or not. This is mostly important if you want your students to have a certain amount of understanding before moving on. You can tell Teachable to say a student can't move on until they've completed a quiz. For a free mini course, I wouldn't necessarily recommend doing this. People are investing their time, and it's a little bit more up to them how much they get out of it. However, having the quiz either way allows you to track their understanding and maybe target where you could implement a little more learning, or if the students that you're getting into these courses are actually finding them valuable. So I'm going to say, no, we're not going to have a graded quiz at the moment, but let's just say, how did you like this lecture? Answer choice one, let's say not at all. Jonah, you're boring. They seem silly, but I actually think there's quite a lot of value in having having an option for a quiz to provide feedback for yourself. So again, throughout building a course, one of the beauties of it is it not only helps educate your audience, but it helps educate you on how you're doing teaching the audience. Next could be, it was all right. And wow, this is so good. After that, you can just click add question if you want another one, and you've built your quiz into the lecture editor. Once again, we can preview it, and it looks like this. So you can see the way this is organized. You have your text above, and then the quiz is below. You can put a quiz in a you can put your quiz in a totally separate lecture. You can have it as part of your existing lectures. Quizzes are a really powerful way to keep track of where your audience is, if they're with you, if they're understanding everything, right? It provides a feedback option for your audience. The one other thing I want to mention about that is you can allow comments for all of this. So if we go back to our lecture editor here and comments, you'll have the section. You need to enable comments on course lectures. So you have to go to your course, to a lecture, and enable those comments right here. That's available on every lecture, and you need to make sure those are active. Once you do, then if we preview it again, there's an area where your students can comment. Super similar to YouTube or other formats, but again, this allows your audience to engage with you, let you know how the course is going. So, I want to talk about a couple other things. Once you have your lectures and you've built them, you're happy with them, they look good for yourself and the audience, you can always preview the audience's the students' full experience. When you're in your curriculum editor, you just hit preview, and up here at the top you'll see it allows you to choose if you preview as an admin or as a student. Since no lectures are published yet, we have to go and publish our lectures, which we can do here just by clicking publish the lecture. You also have another option to view or make it a free preview. So if you want it to be available before, like just the intro video or aspects of it, if you want it to be available for people to preview before they commit to taking the course, you can turn this on or off. You can make the entire lecture downloadable. So if you just want to give people the option to take whatever you're offering and watch it later, that's a great option. And you can also duplicate a lecture. So kind of to the question earlier, this is all within one course, but if you have a lecture that you just want to duplicate and modify a bit, say it's just a slightly different version, that's super easy to do. Now that I've published my lectures, I can go to preview. And as a student, and this is the student's experience. So you can see this is the page they'll see. Over on the left, they can preview a bit about the instructor. And if they start the course, they'll have the video there available to watch. When they complete and go to the next lecture, you see the lecture we built with text and a quiz. And in the further resources, how to sell an online course. So, quick check-in. Is everyone with me? How are you all doing? Is this making sense? Is it clear? I know there's a lot of aspects here, but I really want you to focus on the curriculum builder at first when it comes to building your course. That's where you're going to input everything and actually build the experience for the student. This is one of the things everyone is more aware that Teachable can do, but it's really powerful to know all of the available functions. I think it's easy to think when you see all these creators out there that you need video, that you need all of these fancy things, but you can build purely with text and quizzes, just with PDFs. Some of the most successful courses out there don't have any video, so don't be frightened by those mediums. Everything you need to build a course is there. All you need is the basic curriculum, and we talked about some tips about that. I want to address a couple questions here. Peter is saying, oh, Peter, yes. Thank you. The microphone is available. It's a Shure MV7. And actually, if you go to my website, jonahcohensound.com, in the resources, there's a whole Amazon storefront where I have all the tech that I use and all of those aspects there. It's fantastic microphone. It is on Amazon. Highly recommend going to check it out. And then, yes, this is helpful. Awesome, Kathy. Susan is asking, what is an upsell? Susan well, we could address that basically at any point, say in my welcome video. This wouldn't be the best place to put it, obviously, because they just came in here. But say this is a lecture and I have another course about it, or I have a digital product that might help. I can always use the text function here to say, hey, if you enjoyed, hey, if you enjoyed this course, please check out my other one here, dot, dot, dot. And I could put a link to that product to another course. I can integrate an upsell, which is basically the concept of you're here. Have you thought about buying this from me? And you can integrate that into any aspect of the course. So once again, just want to check in. Kathy, everyone's here. I love that you're all with me. Now, we've covered so far, and I know we're covering a lot today, but we've covered so far just the curriculum builder. That's where you're going to build your free course. That's where you're going to actually create the student experience. But there's a couple other things you need to know before you can publish your course. The next is pricing your course. In this case, we're talking about a free course. So over on the left here, and if you ever need to navigate back to your course, if you get lost on the far left, you can just navigate to courses and you'll see your course here. Click on that, and then you'll see all your options here. We're going to go to pricing, and we want to add a pricing plan. Again, this one's going to be free. So we just say add a pricing plan. There actually already is a free option there. Teachable makes it super easy. They're going to ask you to name and give a brief description of it. So I'm just going to say free mini course. This course is free for your enjoyment. And then if you want to get more detailed, you can say whatever you want. You can also add enrollment camps. This is a newer feature. So if you want to say there's only so many people that can take this course at a time, that's super valuable. You can also add limited product access duration. That means that you can say a student only has so much time to take this course. For free products, you could take it both ways. Often creating a little bit of urgency is a great way to get customers more involved. So you could say, yes, this course is free, but once you access it, you only have a month to get through it. You can also tell people that after that month, if they need a little more time to reach out, Teachable makes it super easy to take a student and put them back in the course. I'm just going to add this free plan. Now I've created my pricing. Next, we want to look at a couple pages associated with your course. So you're going to have a sales page and a checkout page. These are more important if you're actually selling a course. But over on the left here, if we click pages, you're now going to see that you have 3 pages associated with your course. The first is the sales page. Let's just take a look at it quick. Teachable automatically creates a template for you with a beautiful banner and a button. You have all these different styles. Please go check out the last course or the last video we did. We walk you through how the page editor and all of that works. It works exactly the same for your course page. So don't freak out when you encounter this. It all works the same. And you can simply click edit here. Or if you're on the actual pages window, you can click edit and change any of these sections. You want to delete one, you can delete it. If you want to add one, we have all of these available options. One of my favorite things Teachable has for a course page is the course curriculum. So it's actually going to give someone an example of that curriculum. It's going to show them the curriculum. When I mentioned earlier that preview button that you can enable for a specific lecture, if that is enabled, someone would be able to actually preview that lecture here on the course sales page. And then you are going to notice that it says this course is closed for enrollment. Something you need to add is in the pricing plan, which is one of the options here. It's going to be automatically put in there with the page, but you can also always find it in the add a new block. But you need to tell Teachable, okay, the pricing plan I want to use is the free mini course, and now you'll see it shows up there. You can change the button text, and just like we covered in the last event, you can change just about everything about this page. So you're going to want to go in and take this page as an opportunity to let people know a little bit about your free mini course, what its value is, what that transformation is going to be for the student, and give them a reason to take the free mini course. Okay, everyone still with me? Kathy is asking, can you upload a transcript with a video so a student can either watch or read? Yes, you can upload a transcript with the video. You can have that as a PDF available. You can also write transcripts into your videos. I recommend that if you're trying to serve your largest audience. Another thing I recommend is having audio only versions of your course. I've seen more and more creators doing this. It's a wonderful way to repeat content and also have it available for people to listen on the go. So if what you're teaching doesn't rely heavily on video media, but you are working in video, make sure to have those other options available. Kathy, I love this question, and it's especially helpful to have multiple ways for people to absorb your content. It's everyone doing good. Feel free to keep popping those questions in. I love seeing those questions. The last thing I want to show you as far as pages for your course is your checkout page. Your checkout page will be unpublished until you actually make your course live. But that checkout page is your last opportunity to catch people and convince them that it's the right place to be. We're not going to dive too much in depth with that today because, in general, free courses don't take a lot of that final sell to get people involved. So let's get into actually publishing the course. Once you have designed everything and you're ready to publish your course, you can go back to your courses page. And right here under actions, you'll also see you can delete and duplicate a course. But right here, you can click publish. That's all it takes to publish a course. Now your course is live, your sales page is live, everything is active, and it's available for customers to go through. Now, everyone's still with me. I see Susan has given me a little smiley face. Susan, thanks for being here. Everyone, you are so active. I'm loving this. So there's just a couple more things I want to show you before we head into the Q&A. The last thing is that even though there is a dedicated sales page for your course, especially if you're offering a free course like we're talking about today, you want to have that as a lead magnet front and center on your homepage. So, like we talked about last week, everything regarding your site itself, your website that you've built on Teachable, is here in the site page. And if you go to pages, we can see all of our actual pages. What I want to look at is the home page. Per our last event, I built a basic page here for our spotlight. We have just a brief highlight of what we're doing, free courses, and learn about your passion. You'll notice here that there is no course that's actually featured. These are example courses, but all I have to do is simply click this section. If you're not seeing a featured product section, you can just click add blocks, and there's the featured products. From there, once you click your featured products, you can add whatever text you want. I have free courses. I'll just say here, learn for free from Spotlight. Just give them a little idea. And then here, I can actually add my products. So I can choose courses, coaching, or bundles. We've only built a course so far. So once I've published a course, it's going to show up here. Once I click that, it adds it, and you can see the course is available. You'll notice we're missing some images and stuff like that. I'll take you back real quick. If you go to your courses and the course itself, in this main information page is where you can add a photo, you can give some basic details, you can choose your author. There's some basic information here that you want to walk through. I highly encourage checking out all of these here, but really the ones you're going to need are the pages, the curriculum, the pricing, and last but not least, we're going to talk about students in a second. But first, let me know if you're still here. Is this all making sense? Any questions about the pricing page or the pricing plans, the actual sales page, adding it to your homepage? How are we all doing? Let me know. The last thing I'm going to talk about before we go to Q&A is just your students. We're talking about free courses as a way to build your email list. So it's super valuable for you to be able to see what students are enrolled, how you can, you know, engage with them, all of those functions. So over here, if you click students, you're going to get your student dashboard. There's a couple different kinds of leads you're going to get here. Students are people who have actually enrolled in any of your courses or products. Leads are people who have just dropped their name. So if we go to your homepage here, pages, and view the homepage, anyone who just drops their name just in your leads form is going to show up in your leads. Owners is where you can determine you and your bios. Authors, similarly, affiliates and other things like that, we're going to get into with other events, but I will just call out Teachable does have the ability to create affiliates and have people actually market your course for you. That's a whole other aspect. But one thing I do want to show when it comes to integrating Teachable into your actual email platform, there's a couple ways to engage with students. One, if you head over to emails, you can actually compose an email to all users, to people in a course, or just all users. This is specific users, people in a course, or all users. Or if you already use an email service like MailChimp and ConvertKit, both of those can automatically integrate with Teachable. But even if you're on another platform, if we go to users and students, you can export all your students in a CSV. For leads as well, you can export them in a CSV. This is just a file that you can really simply upload to your email service so that your email list and your Teachable list are integrated and working together. All right. So I know we're trying to cover a whole lot in this short hour. I want to make sure that we have time for some of your questions. So please pop any questions you might still have. Want to call out a couple things in the description. If you don't have a Teachable account yet, we have a link to start your free Teachable account. Once again, it's totally free. There's no risk to get started. Get in there, start playing around with all of these aspects. I highly encourage being a little creative, create a school, create a course, play around with it, see what it feels like to be on the platform. Once again, you can always email support@teachable.com if you need help with any of those aspects, or look on the Spotlight platform. We are going to be continuing to do more events like this, doing deep dives into each aspect, why it helps, and what part of the process it makes sense to tackle those. And I also want to call out in the description, we have created at Spotlight a free PDF called How to Sell an Online Course. So I know quite a few of you were saying, I have a mini course, I have lead magnets, but I'm having trouble getting people to consume them or getting users in. In that PDF, we cover all sorts of things from building community to testing different kinds of lead magnets. We've linked to a bunch of other Spotlight events we've done with actual successful creators where they walk through their methods and their systems. There's so many different ways to tackle these things. And at Spotlight, we are so grateful to have worked with so many creators and gotten deep insight into their methods of how they make it work for them. So I highly recommend downloading that PDF. It's totally free, and it'll walk through a whole bunch of more detailed ways that you can use to sell your course. All of those ways apply as well to a free course. Again, selling is value for value. So even if we're selling a free product, we still have to wrap our mind about how we get customers in there. And I want to, yeah, let's dive into some of your questions here. So Peter is saying, how can you ensure that students on a free course must sign up to emails in order to access the free course? Excellent question, Peter. When students join with a Teachable account to take your free course, they are agreeing to receive emails from you in the future. So Teachable has integrated that ability. Anyone who signs up for your course is someone that's fair game for you to reach out to and market to in the future. So you don't have to worry about that. That's part of the beauty of using a free course as a lead magnet. It gets the people on the Teachable platform where you're going to be offering other products. So they're familiar with it, they're a user, they're engaged, and they've said that you can interact with them through email. Great question, Peter. Kathy, when's the next 30-day challenge for course creation, please? Kathy, I can't give you an exact date yet, but stay up to date with Teachable's newsletter, stay up to date and sign up for the Spotlight newsletter if you want more information about that. We are going to have more challenges, both in the 30-day, in a week long. We're really, really passionate about trying to create more accountability there for you and keep you on track creating your courses. So I can't commit to a date quite yet, but Kathy, we have a lot of things in the work for that. Super exciting to know that you're into that. Please, again, sign up for the Teachable newsletter and the Spotlight newsletter. We'll have all of that available for you in the near future. Tiffany is saying, can two people who have collaborated on the same course sell the same course? Tiffany, this is a great question and a problem I've actually dealt with in my own life as a creator. I am building a course with another creator, and we had to have pretty lengthy discussions about where we were going to host it, how we were going to do it. So, yes, two people can absolutely sell the same course. I would not recommend that you have two people hosting the same course on their own Teachable accounts. I wonder if that's what you're asking. Please let me know if that's kind of what you're wondering. But if you have the course hosted on one Teachable account in one place, you can set up affiliate codes for that other creator. So whenever someone comes to the course from their link, they get a certain percentage of it. You can just divide it right down the middle. In the end, Teachable has a whole back end for accounting. So even if one of you is handling most of that administration, it's super easy to set up where people are coming from so you can make sure that each creator is appropriately compensated and work those things out. My one suggestion when doing that is just try and give one creator a little more of a front facing lead on the course. I think it works a lot better to say, hey, this is my platform and I'm hosting this other creator because of A, B, and C. They add validity, they have a lot to offer. I wanted to give my students as much as possible. But having it on one cohesive platform where people can trust you a little more allows for a little more cohesion throughout the process and clarity as you move forward. Spotlight has done some past events with creators who have built courses with other people, specifically David Young, who has a lot of drone courses. He's built courses with a whole bunch of different people, and it gets a little complicated, but there's many different ways to do that. I just highly encourage that you have those difficult conversations about how the structure is going to be early on. And oh, Tiffany, you specified, but on a different account each. Yes, you can do that. However, like I mentioned, there's other ways to do that. Like Susan is saying, yes, like referrals and affiliate codes. For those reasons I said, I do recommend having it on one platform so people can be directed just to that one place. You can grant the other creator access to the course so that they can make additions and edits. Those are all viable things on the Teachable platform. But again, try and have focus on to whose platform it is and invite other creators onto it. It's not a hard rule of thumb. You can do whatever you want with the Teachable platform. I'm just giving you some advice from my experience working with other creators. Um, all right, let's see if we got anything. Yes. Okay, so Peter is saying that on the students list, there is a column email opt out. If your students opt out of emailing, you have to respect that. That's part of internet privacy, but you can filter out which students have opted out and which have opted in. You can still message your students within the Teachable platform if they're part of your course. However, if you're going to be exporting those students' emails and using them for your other, your other email platforms and lists, you do have to respect when students say opt out. There are many ways to try and convert more students not to opt out, promising more value from your platform, saying, hey, if you sign up for this course, not only are you getting the free mini course, but I also have a newsletter, and there's many other reasons to join my newsletter, right? Having students opt out is part of that selling game. If they're just signing up for your free mini course, that may not be enough. So, where that email opt in is going to pop up before they reach that place, you want to make sure that they know not only are they signing up for your email list, but they're signing up to be part of your newsletter. Here's the value why. If they choose to opt out, there's sadly nothing you can do there, but there's a lot you can do on the front end to make it more appealing to opt into that. So, again, think about that transformational copy. Think about what you're promising, the problems you're solving. Even if you're just offering the free course, you can say, yes, but this isn't it. Please join my newsletter. All of this will be available for you. Susan is asking, is there a place where students can write a referral? Um, yes, that's part of the affiliates options and things like that. You can now grant students a way to refer people to your course. That's a whole process in itself that we will definitely cover in future lectures. Also, check out the Teachable resources and that webinar that is linked below. They go into a little more of that in depth, and we have articles and videos on that on the Teachable website. And is there a newsletter in Teachable? Uh, Susan, I'm not 100% sure if you're asking if Teachable has a newsletter. Yes, they do. You can sign up for that at teachable.com. As far as using Teachable to send out a newsletter, you can send all of your students an email through the Teachable platform. As I showed, that was integrated into the platform. It works for contacting all of your students, but ultimately, if you're going to be reaching out to people both within your platform and your email service, you're probably going to want to take those leads and students from your actual course, put them in your email service, and be running your newsletter there. However, yes, if you're just dealing on the Teachable platform, Teachable does allow you within the platform to email all of your students. So you can effectively run a small newsletter for your students within the Teachable platform. All right, everybody, we have to wrap up today just for time. I appreciate you all sticking this out and being so present and active. Please, if you're watching the replay as well, pop any more comments or questions that you have in the comments. We are going to be coming back and addressing all of your questions as much as we can with future events as well. Please look out in the Spotify newsletter for future events. We're going to be doing them very frequently. Our next one is next Friday. We'll have an announcement about that next week. And also, please check out, like I said, last week's event and also all of the events we've done on the Spotlight channel. We've talked to so many creators about how they set up their platforms. And in that PDF, like I said as well, that's linked below, there's links to specific clips where they address those problems presented in the PDF. Please hop in the comments as well. Let me know if this was helpful. Thank you so much for being here. And last but not least, I just want to remind you, if you don't have a Teachable account, there is a link in the description and in the comments. It's free to sign up for one and start playing around. Also, on the Teachable website, in the resources, there's tons of hands-on, actionable help to get you through every little aspect of it. There's that webinar below. We're trying to give you everything you need to get your online home up and running with Teachable so you can start growing your audience and offering courses. Kathy, thank you. And yes, if you had a good time today, just like Kathy, please like and subscribe to the Teachable YouTube channel. Like I said, we're going to be continuing to do events like this, helping you utilize the Teachable platform and your knowledge of your industry to further sell your business and grow your online business. Everyone, it's been a total blast. I appreciate you all being here, and we'll see you next week. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.